Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? Alright, cool. Now I want to take a moment to, you know, and tell you a little about the person that I'm about to bring out. He brought us all together. You know, he made all this possible. Oh, shit. You said you weren't going to be recording this, but okay. He brought us all together. Made Bloody Wars. Introduced all this. Made it last 3 seasons so far. I want everyone to give it up for JP Pitts. Woo! I need it.
It's not on the table.
What table is it on? It's on that one.
Lionel, you have the mic.
What?
You have the mic.
Oh.
It's okay.
Bloody Wars Nation, how the hell are you tonight? This is JP Pitts, your host of the Bloody Wars Tournament. We are here live at the Fight Fest Arena at the venue in Brookfield, Illinois, and this is the 3rd year annual anniversary stream of the Bloody Wars Tournament. I'm gonna take you guys back into 3 years ago today, because there was a lot of history involved with that. Not too much, but October 15th means a lot to me. And it means a lot to every single member in this building and to those watching at home as well. Before then, before October 15th, March 21st, 2022 was the day that I first made my entrance into the arcade floor as a Galloping Ghost employee. And you know, when you first started working at your first job, you normally think, and of course it has to be on a Monday. That's when the working week starts to kick in. And you know, training, of course, you're trying to get yourself involved more into work and trying to see if you can fit into the environment. Well, for me, before March 21st of 2022, I've had previous jobs and they're like normal jobs, but the one that I had for Galloping Ghost was something different. I walked into a community. I've walked in to a show where every Monday they would reveal a new game into the arcade floor. My very first ever Monday mystery stream of all time, my very first ever Monday mystery stream was Spinal Breakers. That was my very first game that I've walked into for the Monday mystery stream. Ever since I've met the community, the stream, people watching this at home right now, you have opened me up in open arms. You guys, you know, it was always awesome getting myself involved into the arcade community. And I was always a fighting game player back in the day. Before I moved into Brookfield, I lived in the Chicagoland area. The world and the place that I lived, it was not all fun. I was bullied at school, and believe it or not, folks, I was diagnosed with autism back when I was 5. And I was very different from many different kids. It was not the welcome that you would get from the Chicagoland area. I was very different from everybody else. I've always wanted to fit in with everybody else. I knew that when I got myself involved in what everybody else was doing, it was gonna be hard for me to make friends. It was gonna be hard for me to get a community going. I was always getting picked at school. I was always getting picked on because I couldn't communicate right. I couldn't figure out the words to explain how I feel. Even when I'm exhausted, my brain takes a while for me to explain how I feel or what to say. And that was, in my opinion, that was something that not a lot of people took that as a weakness. I've always gotten picked out of school, but there was a time in my life where I said, enough was enough. Since then, I've always wanted to become a wrestler. I fell in love with sports. I fell in love with wrestling. I fell in love with mixed martial arts. I grew up in that area. I grew up with the people that trained me. And till this day, I've always loved the idea of fighting everybody else. I still do to this day, which is awesome. But it's great. It was a great industry. And me learning that you're able to do that virtually in a video game, that's what got me on board more. I was introduced to that with Mortal Kombat. It was the original Mortal Kombat. My biological father got me into video gaming. Before I stepped foot into the arcade, I was into Dragon's Lair, Super Mario Brothers, Sonic, but I've always wanted to fight people in the game. He introduced me to Mortal Kombat, and ever since then, I've always fell in love with that franchise. What's cool about that industry is it's located in Chicago, believe it or not. So that drove me more to engage with everybody else that loved Mortal Kombat the same way that I do. And I've always loved competition. I've noticed when I stepped foot into the Galloping Ghost arcade, when I first saw that there was barely any competition at the arcade, I'm like, something has to be done. That bright idea that I had of me running fighting game tournaments at Galloping Ghost Arcade before October 2022, that's when something struck the light in me where I'm like, I gotta make this happen. My first game ever that we ran, October 15th, 2022, was Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. It was a slow start. What was it, 4 or 5 people in my tournament, which is expected, but I didn't stop there. I've always visioned competitors coming here at the arcade once a month, getting a cash money prize, top 3 contenders, including a championship belt. Now, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? The games that you've been playing with since you were a kid, and now you have the opportunity of being involved in a game that you loved since you were a kid, and now you're competing for it, and you get a championship belt, people are gonna wanna watch that. And that's when I grew my love for competition. That's where the love of competition came from as far as the arcade goes. And I've always said there's always room for growth. There's always room for evolvement. Season 3 was one hell of a year. We've had so many things going on. What started season 3 was FGC tournaments. And to those that don't remember, November of 2024, we've had Street Fighter 6. And we've got a little taste of what the FGC crew was about. We saw people from different teams. We saw a player from iPlay Games. We saw different people. We saw Norbert's brother that knows a lot about fighting games in the FGC world today. And we saw him come all the way from Florida and to compete brother with brother. And that's something that we've encouraged in Bloody Wars. But never in my lifetime, I thought I would never see a community, a strong growing roster coming in here wanting more, wanting to engage more in what we do. And that to me is something that I can be grateful for. No words can describe how grateful for me to run tournaments for every single one of you. Regardless if you're just watching the streams on my YouTube channel or you're just participating in the tournaments, you made the Bloody Wars tournament the way it is, and I thank you for that. Give yourselves a round of applause. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the hell out of you. And I knew I couldn't do this alone. In the beginning of season 1, I was kind of a one-man show. But as time went on, I knew I couldn't do this alone. With that said, I just gotta give a huge shout out to the people that I am fortunate to work with. First and foremost, she couldn't make it here today, but I want to give a huge shout out to Catherine Bosey. Catherine Bosey, ladies and gentlemen. I know she's sick right now. She couldn't make it out here today, but she wanted to. Catherine Bosey, you're the main reason why the competitors, whatever the tournament may be, you're the reason why they were so eager to get their final words out. They were so eager to say what they want to say. They're the reasons why, they want to be part of the pre-show. They've always wanted to be part of the pre-show to get, not only to get their final words out and to make a statement and build their character, but you've given them a reason to open up a little bit, show who you are behind the camera, or in front of the camera, I should say. And I greatly thank you for your contributions. And of course, Jeremy too, helping me out with behind the scenes work as well. You both are awesome. So thank you, Captain. Thank you, Jeremy. And of course, I gotta give a huge shout out. He's probably in the back right now. I gotta give huge shout outs to Devin Cordova, folks. Devin Cordova. Working behind the scenes, of course, doing commentating behind the camera. But I've noticed something with Devin. Normally, of course, you're here to commentate and you're giving your thoughts of what the characters or what the players are doing. How are they gonna, conquer the tournament? And that's what you're supposed to do as a commentator. But he did more than that. I would say the Tekken 8 tournament was a big example of how much we appreciate Devin's contributions behind the scenes. There was so many times where he would come up to me and be like, "Oh, how do you do this, JP? What do you do this in the software?" Like he got himself involved. Whatever he wanted to do, and that's why he's behind the scenes with me right now. He could just be a commentator. He could just stick to his role and then be out of his way. But no, he stuck through and he was able to put in as much effort as he could possibly do. And that's what we want for Bloody Wars. And I can't thank you enough, man, for what you do behind the scenes. One more time for Devin Cordova. Another member that just joined us for season 3. In the beginning of season 3, of course, our very own Lionel Cantu, ladies and gentlemen. Me and him it all started with him messaging me about commentating work for Street Fighter 6. That's how it all started. We had our very first interaction was the week before the tournament, as I recall, and it was at Dunkin' down the street. And me and him, he was always giving me inputs of how to work FGC tournaments, what people really need in Bloody Wars. And like I said, he could just be a commentator. Hell, he could have just been a one-night stand for Street Fighter 6. But no, he stuck through. Whenever I needed inputs, or whenever I'm struggling to figure out what does the FGC need, how do I get more people involved, he was there. He was there by my side. And give a credit where all credit's due. He's the guy that gave us the name Fight Fest, our weekend event. So all credits to him. I can't thank you enough for what you've done, man. And of course, We have talked about it for a while, and we're gonna give him another year as an extension of his contract. So you will be seeing him again next year in season 4, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for Lionel, folks. And of course, he knows what he's doing. Street Fighter 6. As far as Street Fighter 6 goes, he knows what he's doing. Speaking of that, he will be representing Team Bloody Wars at Frosty Faustines, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations to Lionel. I expect big things from you, and I can't wait to see you fight, man. This is awesome. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. And when it comes to blood, you know, we've been seeing brother versus brother match, father versus son match. We've been seeing a lot of blood, a lot of family members coming in here for Bloody Wars and doing their thing. But of course, when it comes to blood, I mean, of course, everybody's gonna support you. There are people out there that wanna support you, whatever you wanna do. But you gotta get there, though. You gotta get to them first. You gotta know a specific guy to get what you need to get done. But blood is guaranteed. Family is always guaranteed. That's why I had to give a shout out to David Figueroa, ladies and gentlemen. David Figueroa. You know, of course, him trying to get himself involved more, helping me out behind the scenes, of course, while he's, going to school and, trying to set his future up for success. At the same time, stepping up to the plate when it matters the most when it comes to Bloody Wars. And of course, family comes first. And he is the exact definition of what you need for Bloody Wars. And I can't thank you enough for what you do, man. And I know you've been working hard. You've always worked hard for me. You've always worked hard for the community members, and you've always worked hard for the viewers out there watching at home. No words can describe how much you are awesome, even if it's in the ring or if it's at the house. You have my back, and I've got your back too, man. So one more time for David Figueroa, folks. But of course, I can't do this without anybody here. Of course, the people that have looked into what I've been doing and want to be a part of it as far as venue goes. So of course, I want to give a huge shout out to Cynthia Gonzalez, the building owner for the venue, for her to allow us to do what we do best. Of course, we've had our very first ever weekend event, and we've always had our anniversaries here. Huge shout outs to her. I thank you so much, Cynthia, for giving me the opportunity to do what I do best here. We will see you again shortly. But of course, I've also got to give a huge shout outs to the man that I've always wanted an arcade for himself. Back in the day when Galloping Ghost Arcade first opened, one of the first customers ever, he was one of his first customers at the arcade. Of course, a very well-known Street Fighter player, and he's always wanted to have his own arcade. He was dedicated. He was motivated to make that happen. And of course, that happened. And that, my friends, I'm talking about Uday Kumra, the owner of the Headless Horseman Arcade, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Uday Kumra, ladies and gentlemen. I can't thank you enough, Uday. I don't know if you're watching this on stream right now, but it has been an honor. And when you first came into the arcade, when I first met you face to face, you've seen what I've done. You've seen the tournaments that I've ran at the arcade. He's always wanted tournaments at his arcade. And of course, we've always got to support our locals. He's located in Wheeling, close to Des Plaines a little bit, all the way up in the north area. You guys got to support your locals, folks. Wheeling is a great community out there, and he's trying to do what it does best. I think they're having a wrestling event over there at Wheeling, and you got to support your locals, folks. We got to get more people at Wheeling. So, of course, thank you so much, Uday, for having us as the venue. You're awesome, man, and I can't wait to see you soon. Give it up for Uday Kumra, ladies and gentlemen. As far as venues go, last but not least, I want to give a huge and absolute shout outs to Doc Mack and the Galloping Ghost Arcade, ladies and gentlemen. Doc Mack, ladies and gentlemen. That's how Bloody Wars always started. That's how Bloody Wars started, folks, believe it or not. I've always wanted tournaments to happen at that place. That's how we first started the community. That's how we first started growing the roster. That's how even the casuals, people that don't normally know how to play fighting games, we were able to get so many casuals involved. People that loved fighting games. People are saying like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get like, I don't know, top 10, top 15. They don't care about that. They care about winning. They care about playing their favorite game. And they care about being part of the community. And that all started there at the Galloping Ghost Arcade. Thank you so much, Doc, for everything, for 3 years of us running tournaments at your arcade. 3 years me being there, working hard every day. It's always an honor. Always an honor working with you, Doc. So one more time for him and the Galloping Ghost Arcade. This is something that I've never expected. When we first started season 3, I've always thought maybe we can get some locals, maybe we can get some people out here, but I never expected out-of-towners. I've never expected out-of-towners. I just want to give a huge shout out to Me Like to Smash and his son, Sonic Fox. The other way around. Phonic Sox. You know what? That'd be crazy if Sonic Fox would actually be here. The internet would break. Me Like to Smash and Phonic Sox coming all the way from Texas just to be a part of Fight Fest for Mortal Kombat 11. His son, man, oh man, he was impressing everybody in that building. When I first talked to him, or his father for that matter, he's told me he loved the Mortal Kombat 11 game, and boy, he did prove that. He proved him right, that's for sure. And I've always encouraged other people, like, while you're young now, get more involved in what you do best. Whether if it's fighting game tournaments or a fighting game that you know how to play very well, get involved in the community. Get involved in what we do. You don't have to be far away, or it doesn't have to be Bloody Wars. Do what you do best and be a part of the show. Be a part of it, folks. Be a part of it. That's all we ask. And of course, we got to give a shout outs to Strider versus Norbert Vale's brother, ladies and gentlemen, from Florida. He came all the way from Florida to compete in Street Fighter 6, our very first ever tournament of season 3. It's an honor having him here. And I shouldn't have called Norbert ever. I shouldn't have called him at all. That's my bad on that. I hope you forgive me, Eddie. But next time, whenever you come around, I'll keep my mouth shut for you, okay? But thank you so much for what you've done for Street Fighter 6. I'm pretty sure this is not going to be the last time we'll see him. If we need you, of course, I'll reach out to your older brother. But him and you, Norbert, you guys are awesome. So very much appreciate that. And of course, we've also had, it doesn't even have to be FGC tournaments. We've also had our Killer Instinct champion, Ale Romero, ladies and gentlemen, flew all the way from New York. And we've had 16 people in the tournament. We haven't had that many since Mortal Kombat 4. No, that was Tekken 3. But yeah, regardless, he showed up. And we predicted that Matthew Nasia was going to walk away with a championship on that day. But that didn't happen. Ali Romero came all the way from New York just to play, and he dominated everybody. That just goes to show you never know who's coming through that door when it comes to the tournaments. You never know who's going to come in through that door. Whether you're from New York, UK, from a different freaking country, dude. If people know that KI is on the floor or whatever fighting game there is out there, they're coming and they're going to dominate. So that's one thing you got to remember when it comes to Bloody Wars, ladies and gentlemen. There is no guarantees. There was never any guarantees, and we all should know that. So thank you so much, Ali, for coming all the way from New York just to spend time with us. Your belt and the championship shirt that you've got, they've already been sent to you, my friend. So thank you and enjoy. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. And now, with that being said, this is the moment where everybody came out to see, at least for the viewers watching this at home. This is the moment where we let everybody know who was the best in season 3. We're about to find that out right now, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we could just announce your first award, if I can open this, is the first champ of the season. Now, normally before, we've always got to give this award out to the member that, made a first impression for season 3. There was a great grand final winner for that tournament. There's always competition. He's always competing in different organizations. I think he won in C2E2 at one point for Street Fighter 6, and he's trying to dominate in different areas, different local areas. I think he got top 3 or top 4 at around Roundhouse, but he's always doing Street Fighter 6. And that man's name is IGP Spirit, ladies and gentlemen. IPG. Sorry about that. He's not here right now, but this goes out to you, my friend. We'll probably ship it out to you whenever we get a chance to see you. But cheers to you. Thank you for doing what you're doing for Street Fighter 6. I hope to see you in the next one, man, whenever we have one. Spirit, ladies and gentlemen, one more time for him. There we go. I got it. The next award that I would like to present, it is the Patronize Award. To those, this is the award. You don't even have to be a good fighting game player to be part of Bloody Wars. You could just be a casual player that likes to just play for fun. Whether you're in grand finals, in pre-show, or I don't know, whether you're just here for the entertainment or just casually playing for fun. This award goes to 2 people, actually. This is a first. Those 2 people for the Patronize Award goes to Claudio Capello and Steven Lucas, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Claudio Capello, him playing so good in Power Stone. I've always predicted Claudio would be at least top 3, but I would have never expected him to be at least grand finals with me. And before me and him discussed about Power Stone, he was aware that Power Stone was coming up. During that time, he was like, yo, JP, I'm not sure if I'm qualified enough to, participate in Power Stone. I don't know if it's worth my time. And I'm like, hey, dude, listen, why does it matter? You're here for the fun anyways. We've got a great lineup, great roster, very accepting people. And there's a saying that I like to say, it's, if you risk it, no biscuit. So why the hell not? And of course, Claudio Capello, him getting up to grand finals with me, that's very impressive. That's very impressive for that to happen. Sorry, Aiden. And of course, we've had Steven Lucas, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, when you hear that man's name, there's a lot of faces and a lot of moods when you hear that man's name. Let's be honest. The man that's behind the camera, the man that always has, I want to say the right words, a therapeutic device on him.
Some shit to talk.
Yeah, there you go. You can put it that way. Regardless of what he has to offer, he's always here for the fun. The last tournament he was involved with was Breakers Revenge. And if you guys don't remember what happened in season 2, I've launched my Bloodcast, and there was always shit talking with that game. There was always battles between me and him online. And he's like, you know what? Make Breakers Revenge the next Bloody Wars game. Make it happen, JP. And I'll take down everybody.
And how did that work out?
Top 3, actually. Top 3, which is awesome. Very much appreciate Steven for what you've been saying about Bloody Wars, encouraging us to do what we do best. I appreciate the hell out of you, man. Steven, Lucas, and Claudio, ladies and gentlemen. The next award is the Promo Award. You know, there wasn't that many promos out there for season 3, which is my fault. That's on me. But something has happened during season 3. You know, a year ago today, Aiden Cordova was your MVP of the year for this year. And you know, whenever you're MVP of the year, you get to choose which Bloody Wars game you would like to see in the future in the next season. He chose Waku Waku 7. Now, if you're thinking Waku Waku 7, it's like, what's that game? Have you ever played it before? Who's heard of Waku Waku 7? But there was a meaningful story behind that. And this individual explained it during the pre-show. It was something that, it moved me a little bit. He told me what it was before the pre-show, and I just can't say no to that. And this man's name is Damian Cordova, ladies and gentlemen. Damian Cordova.
Thank you, thank you.
And didn't have that many promos. What we did for Power Stone, you were talking shit, but it's okay, it's okay. That's what it's for, that's what it's for. I'll take it. But besides that, you and your family has always contributed into the Bloody Wars. Your son is doing very well behind the scenes, and you and Aiden, they know how to compete. They know what they're doing. And of course, you guys are awesome as always. And you explaining why you wanted a unique game, someone that a few people know. Everyone knows why now. And it was a moving story. So I can't thank you enough for your contributions to Bloody Wars. It has been awesome having you for 3 straight years, man. I can't wait to see what you do next year.
I can't wait to play again and see where we go. And yeah, I mean, thank you for that, and thank you for the time to, you know, actually explain what it meant to me, and you know, both before and, you know, during the pre-show. So I mean, it really meant a lot, and I hope to see it again in the future tournament.
People will know why we're gonna choose it again, and that reason why is Damian Cordova being your promo winner for this season. One more time for Damian Cordova, ladies and gentlemen. Damn it! How many times am I gonna get it right? That's okay. It's Damien with an E and then Placky with a K. What the hell is going on? I'm gonna leave all of that to Devin or Damien going forward. I'm done with the spelling. I can't spell for shit apparently, but it's okay. The next event winner, the next award, we've got the Bloody Wars Tournament Event of the Year. Now, this award is the award that I give away to a certain contender that's won the tournament. And of course, it's got to be the best of the year. And you know damn well that Third Strike is guaranteed. And your grand final winner for that is Norbert Vale, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Norbert. Man, it has been an honor having you do what you do best, man. You've had 5 title reigns now, 2 reigns from season 3. You upsetting Uday Kumra, your world record holder for Third Strike, known to be a very dangerous man in that game, and you took him out like if it was nothing.
Hey. I had to fight like hell to climb back from losers to fight Uday again, and that was no walk in the park. Come on now. Give credit where credit's due. Uday's a good player.
But regardless, man, you showed who the hell you are and what you're doing here in the Bloody. You've pretty much shown that you've belonged here in the industry, and that's what's very important, man. That's why you are the event of the year. Of course, Third Strike, that's got to be guaranteed right there. So one more time for Norbert Vale, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Norbert. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the MVP of the year. This is kind of like Gamer of the Year, but we're not going to say Gamer of the Year for legal reasons. But this is every year. This is a special award given to a special individual that has made an impact in Bloody Wars. Part of it, of course, you've got to win a Bloody Wars tournament, but you have to make an impact in Bloody Wars. You have to make an impact in the organization, and that's what it's all about. Your MVP of the year. Before we get into that, of course, we got to hear from all the other MVPs of the years that has gotten to that path. So first, let us introduce to you guys your season 1 winner, MVP of the year, and that man's name is Norbert Vale, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for him. Stage is yours.
Love you too, Deal. But no, seriously.